The council chamber was silent. 12 alien leaders sat in a circle of black stone, their glowing eyes fixed on the giant screen above them. The sound they had just heard did not belong to any species in the galaxy, but to humanity. The signal had come from Earth. It was broken, distorted, carried on old radio waves, but the voice was clear enough. A human voice, heavy with rage and pain, declared, "If Earth falls, humanity will rise from the ashes. And you will pay." The chamber lights flickered. No one spoke at first. The council had expected a plea for mercy, perhaps a desperate cry for help. Instead, what they heard was a threat. One of the elders, a tall figure with silver scales, broke the silence. "Arrogance. The humans are finished. Their planet burns. Their fleets are scattered. Their people hide in the dirt. They are no threat." Another councillor shook her head. "No, listen carefully. That signal was not only anger. It carried data, a code. They are sending instructions." The council turned back to the screen. The message repeated itself, each time more distorted, as if time itself was running out for Earth. Far away, orbiting the dying blue planet, the alien warfleet prepared its final strike. Gigantic dreadnoughts hovered like shadows over Earth. Their weapons glowed with cold energy, ready to erase what was left of humanity's homeworld. On the surface, Earth burned. Cities had fallen under fire. Smoke rose from oceans and mountains alike. Yet deep beneath the ruins, in bunkers carved into rock, survivors listened to the final signal. Families, soldiers, engineers, all of them stopped to hear the voice. It was the voice of Admiral Reeve, commander of Earth's last defense fleet. Reeve had been presumed dead after the fall of Mars. Now, his words ignited something inside every human who heard them. In a hidden asteroid field beyond Jupiter, ancient engines came alive. Massive ships built in silence and secrecy stirred for the first time in decades. These were not ordinary warships. They were ghost fleets, constructed from wreckage, from stolen alien technology, from every scrap humanity could salvage when the galaxy turned against them. The signal had reached them. Back in the council chamber, arguments grew louder. "They cannot resist us," hissed one elder. "Our fleets outnumber theirs 1,000 to 1. But what if we miscalculated?" Another demanded. "What if the humans are not as broken as we believe?" On Earth, soldiers climbed into armored carriers. Their weapons were old, battered, but their eyes carried fire. Civilians who had never held a gun before stood shoulder to shoulder with veterans. They had no illusions of survival, but the final signal gave them strength. In orbit, the alien fleet adjusted positions. A vast flagship, dark as night, moved closer to Earth's atmosphere. Its weapons aligned with terrifying precision. One counselor watched through the feed and whispered, "End them! End the humans now!" But in the depths of space, Admiral Reeve opened his eyes. His cryopod cracked open, steam rising around him. His uniform was torn, but his voice was steady. "Signal received. Earth will not fall." He stepped onto the command bridge of a ship thought lost forever, the ISS Valiant, a dreadnought hidden in silence for over 30 years. Lights flickered on across its hull. Cannons extended, ready to fire. Across the asteroid belt, other ships followed, their crews awakening to the same call. Earth's final signal had not been a cry for help. It had been an order. The alien warfleet did not yet realize the danger. Their commanders laughed as Earth's defenses collapsed one by one. They saw only weakness. But in the shadows of deep space, humanity's vengeance was forming. On the surface, children huddled in bunkers as the ground shook from orbital fire. Parents whispered promises they knew they could not keep. Soldiers exchanged one last nod before rushing to battle. In the skies, burning wreckage rained down, painting the horizon with fire. And then it happened. Every alien screen across the fleet lit up at once. A human face appeared, Admiral Reeve. His eyes were cold, his voice sharper than steel. "You came to burn our home. You came to erase our kind. But listen well. Humanity does not die in silence. Humanity strikes back. This is our final signal. Remember it." The alien council froze as the transmission reached them. Their great fleets had faced many enemies before. None had spoken like this. None had dared to promise vengeance in the face of certain defeat. Outside Earth's orbit, a ripple spread through the void. Engines roared to life. Dozens of massive ships emerged from the black, their metal bodies scarred but unbroken. Their banners bore the emblem of Earth. Ghosts of steel had returned. The Admiral raised his hand. Target acquired. The alien fleet detected sudden power surges all around them. Warnings filled their systems. Sensors screamed of incoming fire. The Council stood, panic in their voices. What is this? Where did these ships come from? How? And then, in the darkness above Earth, the first human cannons lit up the void. A massive shadow fell across Earth as the alien war fleet prepared its strike. Only this time, they were not alone in the sky. Humanity's ghost fleet had arrived. The alien council chamber glowed with shifting lights as 1,000 voices filled the great hall. Reports from Earth's orbit streamed in, each one worse than the last. Alien dreadnoughts, once thought invincible, had been struck by weapons they could not detect. At the center of the chamber, the Grand Speaker slammed his claw against the table. Impossible. Humans have no fleets left. Earth is a ruin. They cannot fight us. But then a giant screen filled the wall, showing grainy footage of space. Alien officers gasped. There, among the wreckage of broken stations, ships were moving. Human ships, enormous, dark, and armed with strange weapons not seen before. One of the councillors whispered, "Those ships, they should not exist." Hook, first minute. The council expected humanity to beg for mercy. Instead, humanity's ghost fleet had returned, and somewhere in the shadows their admiral was alive. The Grand Speaker's voice trembled with fury. "They are scavengers, nothing more. Crush them!" But another councillor leaned forward, her eyes wide with fear. "You don't understand. Those ships are not scavenged junk. Look at the designs. Look at the energy spikes. They are using our technology, stolen, modified, improved." The chamber grew silent again. Every councillor remembered the day humanity was forced to surrender, years ago. Factories destroyed, shipyards burned, leaders executed. The humans were supposed to be broken, yet here they were, rising from ashes, fighting with weapons built from the Council's own secrets. Far across the stars, on the bridge of the ISS Valiant, Admiral Reeve stood tall. His voice echoed through the comms. "Ghost Fleet, this is Reeve. Signal confirmed. Formation Delta, no retreat. No surrender." The fleet responded as one. Engines roared, weapons charged, and ancient warships prepared to meet the enemy. In Earth's orbit, alien captains barked orders. Dreadnoughts shifted into attack formation, their weapons glowing like suns. The aliens were certain they would crush the humans quickly. They had numbers, power, and experience, but when the first volleys fired, nothing went as expected. Human ships vanished into the black. Alien sensors screamed with false readings. Missiles appeared from nowhere. Plasma blasts tore through armor. Entire squadrons disappeared in seconds. The aliens had walked into a trap. On the council floor, panic spread. They should not fight like this. They were always predictable, always weak. "They have learned," another answered. "They have studied us. They know our patterns. They fight like shadows." One elder slammed his fist. "No, humanity is a dying race. They cannot match our strength. Order the mothership forward. Erase their planet once and for all." Back on Earth, survivors watched the sky burn. They saw flashes of light, streaks of fire, shadows of enormous ships locked in combat. Soldiers on the ground cheered as human cannons struck alien hulls. For the first time in years, hope returned. Inside the ISS Valiant, Admiral Reeve stood over the holographic display. One of his officers turned to him. "Sir, the aliens outnumber us 10-1. If they press the attack," Reeve cut him off. "They believe numbers win wars. They don't understand humans. One ship, one soldier, one spark can turn a battle. We will show them." The human fleet moved like wolves hunting prey. Alone, they could not match the alien armada. But together, in perfect formation, they struck with precision. Every shot had purpose. Every maneuver forced the aliens into chaos. Alien commanders shouted in confusion. "Where are they?" "They were right in front of us." "Shields dropping." Hull breached. The council chamber filled with alarms as reports poured in. Their fleets were failing. Their dreadnoughts were falling. One counselor finally whispered what none wanted to admit. "We made a mistake. We thought destroying Earth was the end of humanity. But it was only the beginning." Across space, the ISS Valiant approached the heart of the alien formation. Its cannons glowed with stolen technology, burning brighter than anything the humans had ever built. Reeve raised his hand. "Fire!" A beam of light tore through the void, slicing a warship in half. Alien crews screamed. The Council watched in shock as one of their most powerful dreadnoughts exploded into dust. On Earth, the ground shook from the force of orbital fire. Soldiers raised their rifles to the burning sky and shouted. Civilians, once hopeless, now cried out with new courage. Humanity was no longer hiding. Humanity was fighting back, but even as hope grew, danger deepened. The alien mothership stirred. Larger than continents, armed with weapons that could shatter moons, it moved into position. Its engines burned with cold fury. On the council floor, silence fell. The Grand Speaker's eyes glowed. "Enough of this game. Deploy the mothership. Wipe them from existence." And in orbit above Earth, shadows stretched across the sky as the colossal alien vessel descended, its weapons aimed directly at the planet below. Admiral Reeve stared at the massive ship on his display. His crew looked to him for orders. The fate of Earth rested on his next command. The battlefield above Earth was chaos. Alien dreadnoughts rained fire down, their weapons cutting through the sky like burning knives. Human ships darted in and out of the darkness, striking from impossible angles, then vanishing like phantoms. But then, without warning, an entire alien formation went silent. Hook, first minute, sensors stopped reporting. Ships disappeared from comms. Where there had been light and fire, there was only drifting wreckage. In less than 5 minutes, 3 alien warships were gone, shattered, lifeless, silent, and no one saw who fired the killing blows. Alien captains screamed through their comms. "Report! What happened? Who destroyed those ships?" But there was no answer, only static. On the bridge of the ISS Valiant, Admiral Reeve studied the battlefield map. Entire alien units were vanishing without warning. His officers turned to him in awe. "Sir, it isn't us. It's something else. Something moving in the dark." Reeve's eyes narrowed. "No, it is us. The rest of the fleet has arrived. From the black of space, shadows came alive. Massive warships, silent for decades, emerged from hidden asteroid fields and derelict stations. Their hulls were patched with scars. Some bore stolen alien plating, others human steel welded with alien weapons. These were the ghosts of steel, the hidden fleets of humanity. Alien commanders froze as their sensors finally picked up dozens of new contacts. Warships with human signatures, but carrying power readings as strong as their own dreadnoughts. One alien captain stammered in disbelief. "Impossible. They were destroyed. They cannot have this many ships left." But the truth was inescapable. Humanity had prepared for this moment for years. Every exile, every scavenger, every hidden engineer had worked in silence to build the Ghost Fleet. And now, called by Earth's final signal, they had returned. The alien council chamber erupted in chaos. "They are using our technology against us. They were supposed to die quietly. This cannot be allowed." The Grand Speaker shouted above the noise. "Then crush them! Deploy more fleets, every ship we have. If we let humanity rise again, they will not stop. They will hunt us all." Meanwhile, inside the Ghost Fleet, human soldiers prepared for the next stage. Boarding teams checked their weapons. Exosuits hissed as power cells locked into place. Veterans who had lost families to the aliens stared at the mission brief with grim eyes. One sergeant, his scarred face half hidden behind a helmet, growled to his squad. "Today we take their ships. Today they learn fear." The plan was simple: disable alien warships, then board them. Take prisoners, gather intel, spread terror. Humanity would fight not only with guns, but with fear itself. In orbit, the first boarding pods launched. Black as night, they slipped through enemy fire, attaching themselves to alien hulls. The aliens were unprepared. They thought humans had no strength left for such tactics. They were wrong. Explosions ripped open the sides of alien warships. Human soldiers poured in, rifles blazing. Alien crews screamed as close-quarter battles erupted in steel corridors. On the ISS Valiant, Admiral Reeve watched the operation unfold. Reports came in one after another. Enemy vessel disabled. Prisoners captured. Alien captain executed. The tide of battle was shifting. For the first time, alien officers on the ground felt something new: fear. Reports reached the Council describing humans who fought like demons. They did not surrender. They did not retreat. They struck fast, vanished, and struck again. One alien prisoner captured during the chaos was dragged before Reeve. His skin was pale, his eyes wide with shock. He whispered in a trembling voice, "We thought humanity was weak. We thought you were prey, but you are monsters." Reeve leaned close, his voice cold. "No, we are survivors. And now you will learn what that means." Across Earth, hope spread like fire. Civilians hiding in bunkers heard news that alien warships had been destroyed. Soldiers cheered as they watched alien wrecks crash into oceans. Children cried with joy when they saw the sky filled with human banners again. But even victory carried danger. For every alien ship destroyed, more came. Reinforcements from the far reaches of the galaxy began to arrive. And at the center of it all, the massive alien mothership continued to descend, its weapons glowing brighter, ready to erase humanity once and for all. The Ghost Fleet had returned. But the greatest battle was still ahead. On the ISS Valiant, an officer approached the Admiral. "Sir, we cannot hold this position forever. The mothership will be here in minutes." Reeve stood tall, his face lit by the glow of the tactical display. "Then we do not hold. We attack." The screen filled with the looming image of the alien mothership, larger than mountains, casting its shadow over Earth. The human fleet prepared to strike, but no one knew if they could survive the storm that was coming. The sky above Earth was fire. Alien dreadnoughts unleashed their wrath, beams of searing energy slashing across continents. Cities fell in waves of flame. Oceans boiled where the weapons struck. Mountains crumbled into ash. Hook, first minute. Billions cried out as the alien fleet's bombardment began. Earth itself trembled under the assault. Yet just as the Council believed victory was at hand, something stirred in the shadows of the planet. Ancient weapons, long thought dead. Deep beneath the crust, hidden silos unlocked. Giant shafts opened in ruined cities, releasing machines that had slept for decades. Orbital cannons, massive black towers once built in secret, came online with a low, thunderous hum. One by one, they turned their sights to the heavens. From his chamber, the Grand Speaker of the Alien Council smiled coldly as live feeds showed Earth's destruction. At last, humanity is finished. But then alarms blared across alien warships. Sensors lit up with impossible readings. Unknown power surges spiked across Earth's surface. Report. An alien commander roared. "Planetary weapons detected. Ancient human defenses are activating." From the ruins of London, a tower rose into the burning sky. Its tip glowed white, and with a sudden roar it fired. A beam of energy split the void, piercing an alien cruiser in half. The wreckage burned as it fell into the atmosphere. From beneath the Sahara, another cannon erupted. Then one in South America. Then Asia. Earth was not defenseless. It had been waiting. The council chamber shook with outrage. They lied. The humans kept weapons hidden. They deceived us for years. On the surface, survivors cried out in shock as the skies lit with counterfire. For the first time, they saw alien ships falling, burning as they crashed into oceans and deserts. In orbit, the Ghost Fleet pressed the attack. Human warships timed their strikes with the ground cannons, turning the battlefield into chaos. The aliens had come expecting to crush a broken world. Instead, they faced a trap woven across an entire planet. Inside a bunker under New York, civilians watched live broadcasts of the sky. One child tugged at his mother's sleeve. "Mom, are we winning?" She stared at the burning heavens, tears in her eyes. "We're fighting." That means we're not done yet. But the alien mothership remained untouched. Larger than anything else in orbit, its shields absorbed every strike. As the Ghost Fleet and Earth's defenses tore into alien lines, the mothership moved lower, its guns glowing brighter. On the ISS Valiant, Admiral Reeve's officers shouted reports. Enemy dreadnoughts retreating. Multiple alien losses confirmed. But sir, the mothership is descending. It's targeting Earth's core. Reeve's jaw tightened. He knew what that meant. If the mothership fired its primary weapon into Earth's core, the planet itself would shatter. No defense could stop that. Prepare all ships, he ordered. We hold the line. That mothership cannot fire. Across Earth, human soldiers continued their desperate fight. In Paris, resistance fighters ambushed alien patrols in the ruins. In Tokyo, mechs built from scrap steel tore through alien ground forces. In Africa, militias rose from the desert, striking with speed and fury. Humanity's war was no longer fought in silence. It was everywhere, on the ground, in the skies, and in the void. On the alien council floor, voices shook with uncertainty. They are resisting. Harder than expected. Billions remain alive. The planet is not falling. They fight as if death itself cannot touch them, the Grand Speaker hissed. Then break them. Deploy everything. Burn their world until nothing remains but ash. Back in orbit, the Ghost Fleet unleashed its fury. Boarding pods slammed into alien hulls. Human marines stormed through corridors, blasting through steel walls, capturing alien captains, planting explosives. The aliens fought back with savagery, but the humans were relentless. And then Earth shook again. The mothership had arrived in low orbit. Its vast body blotted out the stars, its weapon ports glowing like suns. Alien crews cheered as they prepared to fire the final shot, the blow that would end humanity forever. Admiral Reeve stared at the tactical display. His officers looked to him with fear in their eyes. They all knew the truth. If that weapon fired, Earth was gone. Reeve's voice was calm, steady, unshaken. Divert power to forward shields. All ships converge on the mothership. We're going to stop it here. The Ghost Fleet turned as one, their engines burning bright. Every ship, every cannon, every missile aimed at the colossal alien vessel. From the surface, survivors looked up and saw the shadow of the mothership stretching across the continents. It was like a second night falling over Earth. The alien council watched in silence as their greatest weapon prepared to fire. Victory was moments away, but then a flash of defiance filled the void. The Ghost Fleet charged straight into the storm. The mothership's core began to glow with deadly light, ready to tear the planet apart, while Admiral Reeve and the Ghost Fleet hurled themselves head-on into the jaws of destruction. The alien mothership loomed over Earth like a second moon. Its hull stretched for miles, bristling with weapons that glowed like suns. From orbit, the planet was already scarred and burning, yet the mothership's power promised something worse: total annihilation. Hook, first minute. Inside the ISS Valiant, alarms screamed. Tactical officers reported the unthinkable. Sir, the mothership is charging its main weapon. Estimated target, Earth's core. If the core was struck, Earth would split apart. Humanity's home would be gone forever. Admiral Reeve stared at the display. His crew waited, their faces pale with dread. Everyone knew they couldn't stop the mothership in a straight fight. It was too large, too powerful, too well defended. Reeve spoke at last, his voice low but steady. Then we don't fight it straight. We outthink it. The crew leaned in. Reeve opened the encrypted battle archive. On the screen, a plan flickered, a desperate idea once locked away under the name Project Starbound. It had been humanity's last gamble before the surrender years ago. A fleet of experimental warships hidden beyond Pluto, built with stolen alien tech, too unstable to risk in open battle. The project had been abandoned, the ships left in the dark. Until now, Project Starbound is still out there, Reeve said. If we lure the mothership away from Earth, we can bring it to them. The officers exchanged uneasy looks. Sir, the ships are untested. Their weapons could destroy themselves. Then they'll take the mothership down with them, Reeve replied. On the surface of Earth, The bombardment slowed as alien captains awaited the mothership's final strike. Civilians in bunkers held each other tightly. Soldiers, bruised and bloodied, listened to comms chatter, praying for a miracle. Above, the Ghost Fleet moved into a new formation. Their engines flared as they opened a path, one that pointed directly away from Earth, toward the frozen edge of the solar system. The aliens laughed when they saw it. "Fools, they are retreating. Let them run. Their home will burn behind them." But the mothership's commanders were not so careless. Their sensors tracked the humans' strange maneuvers. They detected hidden codes pulsing between the ships, signals too complex to be random. Suspicion grew. One alien strategist leaned forward, hissing. "They want us to chase them." "But why?" The Grand Speaker of the Council sneered. "Because they fear us. Follow them. Crush them where they hide." The mothership roared to life. Engines that could shatter mountains lit the void. Slowly, like a beast awakened, it turned its bulk and began pursuit. Back on Earth, survivors looked up in disbelief. The shadow was lifting. The mothership was leaving. For the first time in days, the skies cleared. On the ISS Valiant, officers reported with relief. "The mothership is moving." "They've taken the bait." Reeve's eyes hardened. "Good. Then we've bought Earth time. Now we lead the monster to its death." As the Ghost Fleet retreated deeper into space, Reeve sent a private signal to his captains. His words were brief but final. "Some of us may not return. This gambit may cost everything. But if we fall, Earth lives. That is enough." The captains did not hesitate. Each one sent the same reply. "For Earth." In the alien council chamber, not all were convinced. "This is reckless. The humans are cunning. We should destroy Earth first." "No," the Grand Speaker growled. "We end their fleet. With no ships, they cannot fight. Their world will be ours," but doubt spread in whispers. What if the humans had prepared something? What if their defiance was more than desperation? Meanwhile, aboard the Ghost Fleet, soldiers prepared for the final act. Entire squads volunteered for suicide missions, boarding runs directly into the mothership's guns, just to buy the fleet more time. One young pilot strapped into her fighter, whispering to herself, "If I fall today, they'll remember I stood." The chase carried them past Neptune into the cold outer dark. Stars burned faintly beyond while silence grew heavy. The mothership followed without pause, its massive shadow blotting out entire constellations. Finally, the fleet reached the edge of the system. Pluto drifted far below, silent and dead. Nothing seemed to wait for them there. The mothership's commanders sneered. "Trapped. The humans have led themselves into a grave." But then the darkness stirred. From behind Pluto's shadow, engines roared. Dozens of ships emerged, sleek, angular, glowing with unstable energy. Their hulls bore strange scars of alien design, fused with human steel. They were faster, stronger, deadlier than any human ship before them, the lost children of Project Starbound. Admiral Reeve smiled for the first time in the war. "Welcome back." The alien mothership slowed as it realized the trap. The Project Starbound fleet activated weapons that bent space itself, glowing like newborn stars. The battlefield was set. The greatest clash in human history was about to begin. The darkness of deep space shook as two titans faced each other. On one side, the alien mothership, a leviathan of war, its weapons glowing like burning suns. On the other, the Ghost Fleet and the hidden Project Starbound warships. Reborn from Earth's last secret, a whisper ran through the comms of every human ship. "If we fail here, Earth dies." The Project Starbound ships moved into formation, their sharp, alien-forged hulls glowing with unstable energy. Their captains knew their ships were dangerous even to themselves. One wrong overload, and the vessel would rip apart. But there was no fear in their voices. Only steel. Admiral Reeve stood on the bridge of the ISS Valiant, eyes locked on the massive shadow of the mothership. "Fire control, mark the target," he said. "We strike first." The alien mothership rumbled with power. Its commanders laughed in their echoing chamber. Primitive tricks. They believe scrap ships can stop us? Then space itself screamed. The first starbound warship unleashed its core. A beam of raw energy tore across the void, bending gravity around it. It struck the mothership's shield and shattered half of it in one strike. The aliens' laughter turned into sharp gasps. Alarms erupted inside the mothership. Entire levels buckled as their shielding faltered. The aliens roared in rage. Impossible. No human ship carries this power, but it was only the beginning. The Ghost Fleet dived in, striking from every angle. Destroyers pounded weak points. Fighters swarmed like angry hornets, darting past enemy turrets. Every human pilot knew their life expectancy was seconds, yet they pressed on, weaving between blazing cannons. The mothership fought back with fury. Its main guns unleashed arcs of plasma that shredded 3 human cruisers in an instant. Hundreds of lives were lost. The void filled with wreckage. Yet the survivors did not retreat. "Keep pressing," shouted one captain. "For Earth!" Admiral Reeve clenched his fists as reports poured in. Dozens of ships were gone, but so was part of the mothership's armor. Its massive left wing now glowed red with damage. The alien council raged. "They bleed us." "How can they?" "They are human," the Grand Speaker hissed. "And humans do not stop." The mothership unleashed its super weapon, a sphere of pure energy that swallowed space. It tore through the battlefield, destroying everything it touched. Entire human squadrons vanished in blinding light. Reeve's fleet reeled. For a moment, silence struck. Then a voice broke through the comms. A young pilot, voice steady despite the terror. "They want to erase us. Then let's remind them what it costs." A fighter dove straight at the mothership, engines burning white-hot. She fired every missile she carried, slamming into a weapons array before her ship was torn apart. The explosion cracked one of the mothership's massive turrets. The humans roared over the comms. One sacrifice had opened a weakness. "Now! Focus fire!" The Project Starbound fleet converged. Their unstable weapons charged again, cores glowing dangerously bright. Engineers shouted warnings, but captains ignored them. If the weapons exploded, so be it. Better to burn than to kneel. Energy lances crossed the void, striking the mothership again and again. Armor peeled away. Alien commanders screamed orders to reinforce. But it was too late. The humans had drawn blood. For a heartbeat, hope spread. The impossible seemed within reach. The mothership bled fire into the stars. But then, its true power revealed itself. From the mothership's center, a second core opened. Larger than cities, brighter than suns, it pulsed with energy that twisted space around it. Human senses went wild. Computers crashed. On the valiant, officers shouted in horror. "Admiral, the mothership has a second heart. If it fires, it won't just destroy ships," another said, trembling. "It will tear open space itself." Reeve's jaw tightened. The starbound ships had given everything, and still it wasn't enough. He turned to his crew. "There's one move left. We take the fight inside." The bridge fell silent. Boarding the mothership was suicide, but no one argued. They all understood. Reeve transmitted to the fleet. "All ships capable of boarding, prepare. We're not running. We're going to cut out their heart from within." The humans answered with a single cry, "For Earth." Dropships launched from the Ghost Fleet, streaking toward the alien mothership like sparks against a storm. Alien cannons swiveled, preparing to cut them down. Admiral Reeve's own ship dove at the enemy, engines blazing. The moment of truth had come. Humanity would either strike inside the beast or be consumed forever. The alien mothership filled the viewport like a nightmare of steel and fire. Its surface was scarred from the battle, glowing red where human weapons had burned through armor. Yet it still moved, still roared with power. Hook, first minute. Dropships raced toward it, weaving through storms of plasma fire. Inside each one, human soldiers gripped their rifles, faces grim but unshaken. They all knew the truth. Most of them would never return. On the ISS Valiant, Admiral Reeve stood at the command chair, eyes locked on the burning Titan ahead. "This is the heart of it," he said. "We take the core, or Earth dies." The first dropship slammed into the mothership's hull. Explosives tore a hole into its plating. Human marines poured out, firing into the darkness. The alien defenders came instantly, tall, armored creatures with blades of energy and voices like thunder. The corridors of the mothership shook with battle. Humans fought room by room, stair by stair, carving their way deeper into the beast. Plasma bolts lit the halls. Explosions thundered. The air filled with the sound of steel against steel, screams against screams. One squad leader barked orders as his men pushed forward. "Keep moving. Don't stop. The core is below us." But the mothership was alive with traps. Walls shifted, closing off tunnels. Alien turrets dropped from ceilings, cutting down Marines in bursts of light. Dozens fell, but still the squads pressed on. Far above, the Ghost Fleet fought to shield the boarding craft. Starbound ships burned as they blocked enemy fire. Pilots threw themselves into suicide dives to clear a path. Every second bought meant another squad reached the core. Inside, the alien council watched through their own cameras. Soldiers fell in their dozens, yet the humans kept coming. Their blood stained every corridor, but still they advanced. The Grand Speaker slammed his clawed hand against the table. Why do they not break? Why do they not fall? Another alien, shaken, whispered the truth. Because they are human. Admiral Reeve himself led the central push. His armor was dented, his rifle nearly empty, yet his eyes burned like fire. He cut down an alien officer in single combat, then pointed ahead. "Bridge team, with me! We take the core." The humans stormed down a final corridor, only to be stopped by a gate of glowing steel. Behind it pulsed the second heart of the mothership, the core that could tear space itself apart. Alien elite guards stood before it, towering creatures in black armor, each holding weapons longer than a man. Their leader stepped forward, voice echoing like thunder. "You are small things, humans. You should have knelt. You should have died quietly." Reeve leveled his rifle. "We don't kneel. We don't die quiet." The corridor erupted in fire. Human soldiers and alien elites clashed in a storm of blood and steel. The walls shook with the fury of it. Marines fell one after another, but the line did not break. A young Marine, bleeding and barely standing, looked at Reeve. "Admiral, if we fail," Reeve answered without hesitation, "then Earth falls. So we don't fail." The humans roared and surged forward with one last charge. Explosives detonated, rifles blazed, blades clashed. Inch by inch they fought through the guards, their boots leaving trails of fire and blood. Finally, the last alien elite fell, its blade clattering to the floor. The gate to the core trembled under the humans' charge, but as it cracked open, the soldiers froze. Inside was not just a reactor. It was a chamber the size of a city, glowing with alien energy. At its center floated the core, an orb of pulsing light, alive, beating like a heart. Around it coiled machines that looked disturbingly organic, as if the ship itself was part living creature. And then the core spoke. Not in words, but in voices inside their minds. A chorus of alien whispers filled every soldier's skull. Some dropped to their knees, clutching their heads. The core was alive, and it knew them. It whispered of surrender, of despair, of futility. It showed visions of Earth burning, of humanity enslaved. It promised them peace if they laid down their arms. For a moment, even the strongest Marines faltered. Fear pressed into their bones, but Admiral Reeve stepped forward, bloodied and unbowed. He raised his voice above the whispers. "You think you can break us with fear? You don't know humans at all." He lifted his last explosive charge and slammed it against the core's barrier. Sparks erupted as the gate shuddered under the blast. The core screamed, a sound that shook space itself. Lights flickered across the mothership. Alien commanders panicked. The humans stood at the edge of victory or death, staring at the living heart of their enemy. The alien mothership groaned like a dying beast. Its hull cracked and burned, its shields torn apart by the fury of Project Starbound. Yet its heart still pulsed with power, alive and defiant. Deep inside, Admiral Reeve and his Marines stood before the glowing core. The whispers of the living machine filled their heads, clawing at their minds. It showed them visions of defeat, of Earth shattering, of humanity erased. Reeve's soldiers trembled, their rifles shaking. Some dropped to one knee, unable to resist the weight of it. But Reeve's voice cut through the storm. "Stand, soldiers! Earth is watching us. Every man, woman, and child is counting on this moment. If we fall here, they fall with us. Stand! The Marines rose, bloodied but unbroken. Reeve placed his last explosive charge against the barrier around the core. Sparks lit the chamber as the living metal screamed. But the barrier held. It would take more than a single blast to kill a monster this size. The alien council, watching from their chamber, panicked as alarms blared. "The humans are inside the core chamber! Stop them!" But there were no soldiers left to send. The humans had carved their way through every defender. For the first time, the aliens felt what humans had lived with for years: fear. On the surface of Earth, survivors huddled in bunkers heard strange signals over their radios. It was the Valiant broadcasting, a final message sent across every frequency. A voice carried through the static, Admiral Reeve's. "This is Earth's final signal. Humanity does not surrender. Humanity fights. Humanity wins." The words spread like fire. Soldiers raised their rifles. Civilians cried out with hope. The signal reached every corner of the planet, every broken ship in orbit. Humanity heard its own heartbeat again. Inside the mothership, Reeve turned to his squad. "We overload the starbound cores, every one of them. Link them to this chamber. If the core won't fall to one strike, it will fall to all of us." His officers froze. They knew what that meant. Linking the unstable starbound cores would unleash an explosion strong enough to tear the mothership apart, and anything near it. It was suicide. But no one objected. One by one, the captains of Project Starbound confirmed the order. "For Earth," they said. The countdown began. The starbound fleet shifted, cores glowing hotter and hotter. Engineers screamed as the reactors went critical. Ships cracked under the pressure, but still they held long enough to finish the link. The alien mothership sensed the danger. It roared with power, preparing to unleash its space-tearing weapon. Energy built in its second heart, enough to erase Earth and the fleet in one strike. Time was gone. In the core chamber, Admiral Reeve lifted his helmet. His eyes burned with fire. He spoke one last time to his people. His voice carried across every channel. "Tell the galaxy this. Humanity was here. Humanity stood. And humanity made them pay." The countdown hit 0. The starbound cores detonated together. Light consumed the void. The alien mothership screamed as its living core shattered. The explosion ripped through its veins, tearing apart machines and organs alike. Its massive body split open, fire pouring out like a second sun. The shockwave tore through space, ripping alien cruisers into dust. The ghost fleet scattered, barely surviving the blast. Earth shook as the light spread across the sky, but the planet held. The mothership, once unstoppable, once eternal, was gone. Silence fell. Hours later, in orbit above Earth, broken ships drifted. Only fragments of the ghost fleet remained. The ISS Valiant floated among them, battered but alive. Inside, wounded officers rose to their feet, staring at the view. Earth, blue, still standing. Across the planet, survivors emerged from bunkers. Children looked up at the sky, where the alien shadow was gone. Humanity had survived, but Admiral Reeve was gone. His last transmission still echoed in the comms, recorded by every ship, every survivor, every radio on Earth. This was Earth's final signal. "We are humanity, and we do not kneel." The words became more than a message. They became a vow. For centuries to come, every time humanity faced the stars, those words would be repeated. The day they turned despair into victory. The day they made the galaxy understand the truth. Humanity was here to stay. End.